How do you know when you truly are a Kiwi? We have been living here for 14 years and only this week did we realise, oh my God, we are now true Kiwis. It's not that they're not nice, Bri.
Yeah.
It's not that they're not nice. They're just flipping rude. In this week's episode, we're going to share with you 4 Kiwi traits that if you do them, then that's it. You're accepted into the land of Kiwiism. So let's jump on in and find out what those 4 things are.
It's a Drama, coming to you from Taranaki, New Zealand.
Hello.
Daddy, I love him!
Mother thanks you.
Right, Mr. DeMille, I'm ready for my close-up.
Hello and welcome to the It's a Drama podcast. I'm Liz.
And I'm Brian.
And today it was a bit loud that, Brian. And today we're here to talk to you about what it really means to be a Kiwi. You know you're a Kiwi when you do these 4 things. If you are new to the channel, thank you for joining us. We're Liz and Brian, husband and wife. We are British. We emigrated to New Zealand 14 years ago. Can't believe that now, 14 years ago. And we just talk all about travel, life in New Zealand. We help people move to New Zealand. And basically, we just sit in our back garden and just chew the fat with you about life, really.
And this is what a back garden in New Zealand is just like. Everyone is the same.
Yeah, what a beautiful day. It's a gorgeous autumn day here in New Zealand and the sun is shining. It's warm on my back.
Yep.
It's just, I went down the beach this morning for a walk and I just thought, just look at it.
6 days of autumn to go and then it's winter.
Yeah.
So look at it. This is it.
Yeah.
We're on the North Island in New Zealand, if you don't know.
That's not to say that every day is like this in Taranaki, because it's not.
Yeah.
Really isn't. We just choose our filming days very wisely.
Yeah, it tends to be a Wednesday because it seems to be the best day of the week. I don't know why that is.
Yeah. So what happened this week was, because normally we just talk about what life has been going on and things like that. But 4 things happened actually this week in our life that really made us both stop and think, oh my God, we're really Kiwis now.
Yeah.
This is us now, Brian. This is it. We've made it. We've crossed the line, haven't we?
That's it. We've been citizens for like 7 years, but now we feel like we're real Kiwis now.
Yeah, well, this is the thing, you see. It doesn't really matter if you're a citizen. It doesn't really matter if you've lived in New Zealand for 30 odd years. There are certain things you've got to do to make you be accepted in the world of Kiwiism, haven't you, Brian?
I think so.
Yeah. And we're going to share those things.
It's not just having a chainsaw.
No, it's not. I'm wearing red bands.
Or a trailer.
Yeah. So we're just going to jump right in and try and share the 4 things. And the 4th thing, and I'm not just saying this to keep you here, well, I am really, but the 4th thing is probably my favourite, and it's to do with us personally.
Right.
So I'm going to save that till the end because I know that the people that stay around, you are very supportive in our lives, and I just want to save that one for you. Number 4.
Okay, what is number 4?
Right, no, don't have a look. Right, number 1, you're a Kiwi, and this happened to us this week, when people you meet that have been outside the country, or they've only just arrived, or they're here on holiday, or whatever, you say to them, so what do you think then? Do you like it? Do you like New Zealand?
Is it good being back, or is it? What do you think of it? It's that thing, isn't it?
When did that start to happen?
Yeah, well, what are they going to say? Oh, shit, I hate it.
The other day, I was down the cafe and this guy came in. Sonny knows him. He's a friend of Sonny's. And he's been travelling around Europe for the last, 6 months, 7 months or whatever.
It's about 6 months or so, isn't it? Yeah.
And he comes in the cafe and he sits down. He's with his little boy and he said, I said, did you have a nice time in Europe? Now, why did I do this, Bri? Why did I say this to him? I said, so where do you like better then, Europe or New Zealand? And he's like,
You've been to Europe, you've been to Africa, Thailand as well.
There is something about when you live in New Zealand, you want to know what everyone else thinks about it, don't you?
I think does it just come down to think you're doing the right thing, or you should be doing something to yourself, or maybe that's it, isn't it? Like,
I don't know.
When you just think, is this the right place?
Yeah, you got a little fly on your forehead.
I know, I can keep feeling it.
Yeah, there you go. Look, I've killed it.
Oh.
You're a Kiwi when you kill bugs.
Yeah, you kill flies.
But we went travelling. This time last year, we went to Europe for 6 months. I did this most amazing road trip around Europe, and then we went on to Thailand. And the flip side of it is when you go abroad and you meet people, Italians and Greeks and French people, when you say, we're from New Zealand, we're Kiwis, we live in New Zealand. Oh my God, it's like you're wearing a gold crown. It's like they can't get enough of it, can they, Brian?
And they just say, I've seen that country, it's beautiful. And like, have you ever been? They go, no. It's like, how do you know? I've seen pictures.
No, but New Zealand has got this thing about it, hasn't it? It's got this. It's not like if you say you're British, because we learned this lesson. We learned this lesson when we went to India with our kids a few years back. They would say, oh, you know, where were you born? And oh, England. And then their faces would be like this, wouldn't they, Bri? They'd be like, so we started changing it. We were like, oh yeah, New Zealand. And they're like, yeah, greater cricket. Yeah.
I know. I don't really follow cricket, and they'd be like saying, oh, you know, because the Indians are so into cricket, like, you know, and it's so hard when they just like, it's like, I haven't got a clue about that. I wouldn't even know a name of a cricket person a cricket player in New Zealand.
If you want to know anything about cricket, Bri, just ask me.
Yeah, I can ask my friend cricket. Simon.
Yeah,
it's like, he's always good. He knows about
the flip side. So that is that side of it, but. That I think it was Billy Connolly made a joke where he said, literally, you get off the plane in Auckland, your foot is on the tarmac, and they're there. The Kiwis going, "What do you think? What do you think? Do you like it? What do you know?" Just...
Maybe that was his wife, because his wife's a Kiwi, isn't it? Pamela.
So so that was number one. You know you're a Kiwi when you just can't resist asking people, what do you think of our country? Then what do you like about it? What do you like about it?
You do,
Tell me 3 things you like about it best.
Yeah, it's like my brother came, you know, and it's just like you just say, well, so what do you think?
Yeah.
Because you almost like want, you know, you want them to enjoy it like you enjoy it. I think that's what it comes down to. It's like, isn't it great?
But I never did that in England, though. Did you, Bri? When people came to England to see us from America, say, we didn't say, oh, what do you think of England then? Did you?
No, you didn't, because you just knew it was a little bit...
It's rubbish, isn't it?
Yeah. What do you think?
Anyway, moving on to number 2. It's not rubbish, England, I'm just joking. Moving on to number 2. You know you're a Kiwi, and... Oh, I don't know, but I don't really know if I should tell you this, because this sort of goes against what we're doing. Because for those of you who don't know, I'm going to drop myself in it now. For those of you who don't know, we support people who move to New Zealand.
Yeah.
We have got this private community. As you, if you don't know, we do lots of videos about New Zealand. And when we moved to New Zealand 14 years ago, there was nothing. There was no information. Well, it was very, very limited, and it was lonely. You know, we got here and it was lonely, and it was just. We just stepped in. It wasn't so bad for you because you went to work, but I was just stuck at home, and it was like, I don't know anyone. I don't know how to make friends. I don't know what you do here. You know, it was just, anyway, to cut a long story short, we decided on the back of that when we had the resources and the ability, we would create this that we're doing now to educate people about New Zealand, you know, or just give them our point of view.
Yeah, well, the majority of people that come over, you know, the skilled migrants that come over, you know, and the majority in the last few years have all been in the health industry, really, hasn't it? Like, you know, healthcare and everything like that, because our healthcare is in such a state. But so, you know, people come over. So the majority of people that come, they come as either a family or couples, and they come over on the one skill. So the partner sometimes doesn't go to work straight away, or can't, because the residency or permit or visa won't allow them to to work within the first few months. So it's just to get you over that. Yeah, it's that little hill, isn't it?
It's
like
lonely.
It can be, you know. So
and in our community, we've got, you know, we've got Accent Health there, we've got NZ Shores there for immigrate. We've just got lots and lots of great people who are supporting each other. You know, it's just like a big family. Anyway, so that being said, I'm now going to say, you know, you're a Kiwi when you don't want people to move here because you're like, oh no, actually, why don't you just stay where you are because we're a bit full.
It is, because it's a double-edged sword, isn't it? We need the skills here in New Zealand, but we don't want any more people here. That's the thing, isn't it? Like, you know,
that's so hypocritical of us to say. Look at us here now. Well, imagine if someone had said that on YouTube.
Yeah.
You know, oh, we don't want any more, and then we would just be thinking, oh, thanks.
I know, yeah.
But I'm telling the truth, you do feel a bit like that.
You do, because you know, it gets to the weekend, you go out for the weekend. You know, there's that we've talked about that lake before, haven't we? Lake Ritakeri.
Yeah.
And you know, you get there on a Sunday and there's like 10 people there. That's it. And you've got the whole place to yourself, and it's just like, I don't want any more people here. Yeah. The odd tourist is all right, or the odd camper, but.
And this is really like, you know, this is a bit cheeky and selfish of us, but we're like, yeah, but the people that we help to come over are really, really, really nice. And they're bringing brilliant skills. Yeah. So that makes me feel a bit better. But all the same, I can't help but thinking, oh, you know, it's just so nice. Like, you know, just us. You know?
Just the odd doctors, all right, that's about it. And
but then, Bri, do you think that, I don't know this, and I should know this, but do you think that the people coming in are underneath, oh, sorry, what's the word? Oh, you know, like the people leaving outweigh the people coming in?
The thing is, a lot of Kiwis, they start up, they get trained, and then they go to Australia maybe, or they go on their OE or something like that, and
more money in it by over there.
They just don't come back.
Yeah,
you know, for a bit anyway. Like,
come back to us. Come on.
Yeah, don't go. You know. No,
but so yeah, I don't know if you agree with that or not, but I just thought there was something happened the other day, and I was like, just I like it. I like this.
Just as it is, you don't want it to get busier, but it's inevitable. It will, because it's one of the best places around.
It
isn't
is,
it? It really is.
It is. So that's number 2. Right, number 3. You're not going to like this one, but it's true, and this is a gripe that I've always had, and it's never gone away. But there's a little bit of a twist. Number 3. You know you're a Kiwi when you just embrace and accept the fact that customer service is just absolutely rubbish. It really is. But now, Bri, I'm used to it. I don't care.
But
I'm not expecting anything now, Bri.
I suppose. But there's a difference between rubbish and the people tend to be nice in customer service, but they don't do anything for you. It's just like, well, that's it really, isn't it? But
it's not that they're not nice, Bri.
Yeah.
It's not that they're not nice. They're just flipping rude. They don't care.
Yeah.
They don't care that you... Anyway, let me tell you this story, right? Let me just tell you, because this is like why I thought today, I'm just going to talk about that. So our son is in the theatre, is in a show in New Plymouth. It's We Will Rock You.
Yeah.
Both our kids are into the theatre, but Sonny is in We Will Rock You. Yeah. It's a play, a big musical being put on by New Plymouth Operatics.
It's this, New Plymouth Operatics bought the rights with a few other the consortium of theatres around New Zealand to bring the rights, to bring the show to New Zealand. So it's all the proper, stuff.
It's
like
brilliant.
It's the same stuff you'll see anywhere else. And when this actually video is released, it's the opening night for We Will Rock You. Yeah.
Well, go and get tickets then. Go and get tickets.
There's not many left because it is pretty well sold out. They did a preview night last night, and that was 1,000 people in the theatre.
Yeah.
So he said, my son said it was a brilliant audience because and everything. But so.
On a side note from that, so sorry, Brian.
Yeah, so that's what we're going to talk about, is this about the theatre, about getting our tickets, wasn't it?
Yes, it was, because Sonny gets like a free ticket, and and he's like, are you coming on opening night? And I've said, yeah, of course we're coming on opening night, we've got our tickets. He said, where are you sitting? I said, we're in the stalls. And he's like,
which side?
Don't, whereabouts? And I'm like, to the right. You won't be able to see anything. I'm never on that side of the stage, you're never going to be able to see me. And we're like, oh gosh, shit, maybe we should just change our tickets then. Don't want to be hated by our son.
Yeah, let's go to the green room instead. Watch you on the telly.
I said, it's all right. I said, I'll change them then. I'll just phone up and change them. And he's like, Anyway, so I phone up the box office and I give them the story, hi,
because we got one complimentary ticket and we were buying a ticket as well, weren't we?
And I said, my son's in the show and just need to change the tickets, She says, well, you'll have to come down in person. That's how she said it. And I said, can I just do it over the phone? She went, no. And you better be quick as well. Be quick about it, she said. Yeah. Be quick about it. And I was like, but rather than being like, I was like, better be quick then, Brian.
Better hurry up.
Yeah, and I said to Bri, be quick, get down there. But did you get your tickets changed?
Yes, she moved me because she got the standard map out. I said, can I sit there? And she went, no, complimentary ones can't go there.
No, well, it's going to be worth it though, Bri, isn't it?
Yes.
It's going to be brilliant, and it's going to be
We're
worth
supporting the local community.
Every single bit. And also, maybe I should, because I know, flipping kids. Maybe I should just throw this in, because I don't like, I don't want to be, but maybe I should just throw this in. When we were driving down to Wellington the other week to see my daughter, who was in Into the Woods, which I'm going to talk about in a minute, I messed up with the tickets and phoned Ticketek or some big company. I was on the phone in the car, wasn't I?
That's right, driving down there, because you hadn't printed the fifth one out or something.
No. Now, that guy, I don't know if he was in New Zealand, or is that a New Zealand company, Ticketek?
I don't know. I wouldn't have a clue.
Oh, neither do I now, before I go and say this. But anyway, that guy was like, I said, I'm going...
Did he sound like a Kiwi?
Yeah, he did,
There you go.
But you never know, do you?
I would
It's a
imagine
trick.
it'd be,
What they do is they put Kiwis in call centres in the middle of India and start asking you questions about the cricket. So you think, I'm talking to a Kiwi, and you're not.
Teaching them to speak Kiwi.
Yeah, but that's a common scam, Bri.
It is.
You know, to make you trick you into believing, like, you know, oh yeah, I'm talking to a local person. Anyway, but no, that guy that I spoke to, and he was Kiwi, and he said to me, he goes, I said, oh, sorry, I've got a really bad signal because we were going through some dodgy area on the way to Wellington. And he goes, oh, don't worry, what's your number? I'll call you back. And he called me back and said, I've sorted all the tickets out. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Yeah.
Now, I'm contradicting myself here now, aren't I?
I know, but that's what I'm saying. There is customer service here. You know, it's like these little microphones.
You better be quick.
These microphones, they were just literally coming out of warranty. This Australian company, Rode, I have to put my fingers up, my thumbs up to Rode. They're an amazing company to work with or deal with, like, you know. And that went through the system in New Zealand, and I went to the rock shop and they replaced them for me. And that was great customer service all round. So I know it's not a New Zealand company, but the way the process and the way New Zealand dealt with it, fingers, you know, thumbs up.
Do you know what, Bri? I've just had a little thought. I reckon it's the customer service on the phone that isn't good.
Right.
Because what you're saying is, and you just said she was a bit frosty, so no, maybe not. I was just going to say, do you think it's better when you go to them in person and be like, you know, hi?
Because some people, they just need to meet you, or you just start talking to them. You know, you're trying to be positive and everything, but you know, you get nothing back. It's just like, oh,
she was probably just having a really bad day.
I know, but then
don't be on the customer service desk.
Just ask to do something else today if you're feeling that way, like, you know.
But can you do that in honestly, Bri?
In New Zealand, I think you can.
What,
you know?
You can say to your boss, oh, excuse me, I'm feeling a bit crap today.
I don't want to talk to those shitty customers.
I'm going to be really rude, so just put me on sweeping duties, or I'll just go out front.
Sweeping duties?
Yeah,
what exactly would that be? Sweep the road, off you go. You can go off and clean the streets, pick up the dog poo.
No, I don't mean that. I just mean, you know, polish down the flipping files in the background or whatever.
Is that a feather
I'm saying, put me in a position that doesn't require any face-to-face customer service, Bri.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Anyway, so all that to say, yes, it is a bit rubbish, customer service. But guess what? When you're a Kiwi, you don't care. You either just think it's normal, or you just think, oh yeah, it's sweet. Yeah. She's just old and having a bad day, a bit frosty.
But that isn't that life, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice breeze.
I suppose what it is when you go, what we're talking about is experience in the likes of the UK, when, you know, you speak to someone and you know that corporate company has to have that corporate mentality of the way they treat customers. Like, you know, you can't do anything wrong with them, like, you know, and...
What's the worst customer service you've ever had in your life, Brian?
IKEA, actually.
Really?
Yes.
What, in England?
In England.
Why?
It was shocking.
Why? They should know better.
It was like there was something missing out of the pack. I had a bunk bed pack, and it's like all the bits, the bag of bits was missing, like, you know. Yeah. And I just phoned up and said, you know, I'd like another bag of bits, please, like, you know. And she said, well, we're not actually IKEA. And I'm like, well, it says IKEA on the store where I went, and this was in Bristol. And she said, yes, but we're just a franchise. And I said, and what difference does that make? It's still an IKEA product that is missing the bits. No, they won't be missing. Well, I can assure you they are, because what am I going to do? What can you do with a box full of screws and stuff? If, you know, what are you going to do with them? You know, if you haven't got another bed to do. And it was a huge box, like, you know. And she just got really personal.
Did you?
Yeah,
oh, really?
Did. Yeah,
what sort of personal? Why? Like, what did she say?
Just like quite as if like I was out to rip her off, like, you know.
Oh, I thought you meant personal about your physical appearance.
Oh, no, because this was on the phone. It was just
Are you a scouser? You sound like a scouser to me. You're all robbers. You're all scammers.
It was just like, I don't know. It was just, I'm out to get something from you for free. And it's just
that's
like,
the thing. Okay. That's the thing with the Brits. They think everyone's out to rip them off.
Yeah, and that's where customer service in the UK can be a bit horrendous as well.
My God, Bri. We'll move on in a minute. But what about the customer service in America then? Hey?
Yeah, but that is different.
Do you think it's a bit fake though, Bri?
I don't know. You just go to America and it's very weird, like, you know, because I remember when we were hiring a car at an airport, and there was a big queue to speak to the real person, or there was a television screen with a guy waving at you, and you're like, and he's going, yeah, you come here, and you're like,
what, through the screen?
Through the screen, because he's got a camera, and it's like, I can sign you in, sir, if you'd like to use this service. And I'm like, and I'm looking at the queue, and I'm like, yes, please.
See, that's what I like about Americans. Let me just interrupt. They always say, sir and ma'am. Hey, hello, ma'am. Yeah. And that instantly makes you feel special, doesn't it, Bri?
It does, because...
Not frosty.
But that's your job, and you're trained to do that. This is what people, you know, sort of look up to, or not so much like, it triggers things in your mind, but he was great. Like, I said, so he said, oh, you've got a standard car. And he said, do you want an upgrade to this? And I'm like, listen, I don't want any upgrades. I've got insurance. I said, I just need everything, the basic, the stuff that I booked. And he said, okay, I'm right with you, sir. And then he said, okay, so go to section D in the car park and the cars are there. If there's nothing in section D, go to section E.
There'll be a secret squirrel waiting for you behind the Mondeo.
Yeah, but if there's... So,
wearing a red tie.
Yeah. Reading a newspaper, looking through 2 holes. But it was great because... and I just said, I went out there and there was nothing in section D. And then you go to section E and they're like bigger cars. And I'm like, it was just like, can I take this car? And I looked at the guy and he went, oh, what have you got? And I went, they were supposed to be one of those compact ones and these are full size. And he went, oh, just take it. But that's the difference, isn't it? Like,
Oh, we'll tell you one day. We won't tell you now because this is too long already, but we're going to tell you the story. Remind me, we will tell you the story of when we went to buy a timeshare to get our free Disney tickets. We'll tell you that because that is a flipping brilliant story. But anyway, going back to the customer service,
it feels just a little bit small town. That's what it feels like sometimes. Sometimes it's great. Like I say, with the Rode microphones, brilliant, absolutely outstanding. Yeah. Really, really was.
So moving on to number 4, and this is my favourite. And this, what time are we now, Bri? We're quite into it now. So this is for the people that have stayed to the end. And like I always say on our podcast, if you're still here now, then you are just you're true fans, basically. You're not just in, click and then off again. So thank you. First of all, thank you so much for that. I just want to say, number 4. You're a true Kiwi when you...
Watch us all the way to the end.
Shut up. When you give back the support that this country gives to you. Yeah. It blows us away. It absolutely blows us away. And I just want to elaborate on that for a little bit, if you'll allow me. So I've got hair in my eye. So me and Brian started this YouTube channel about 2 years ago. We're not young. We were a bit scared and we were like, oh no, YouTube, that's just putting yourself out there. That's scary.
Well, it is like, here comes the knacky wind.
And we started this YouTube channel and we started building this community. And it's mostly made up, not all, but mostly made up, or it certainly was at first, made up of Kiwis. Kiwis that are either still in New Zealand or they've gone to Australia or they live, they went overseas.
Expats and everything.
Expats,
yeah.
And we were like, oh my God, people are being really, really nice to us. They're being really kind. We did get the occasional crappy comment, but that's fine.
You always do. That's life, isn't it? Yeah.
But it gave us the confidence to keep going on because it was like, because you know what it's like. Everyone says to you, oh, don't go on YouTube. You're just opening up a can of worms there. Yeah. I can honestly say it feels like this country wraps its support around you. The Kiwis just get their arms and join them and wrap them around you. And for some of you who might not know this, I'm just about to release my first book. So we took the kids traveling around the world 5 years ago, our teenagers backpacking around the world. And I'm writing a book about it and I'm just about to publish it. And it's a funny travel memoir about life going around the world with 2 kids and Brian and all the hilarious things that happened. And I am scared stiff about releasing this book. I've never self-published before. I've never done anything like this before. And it's scary as anything. It's just so scary. Oh my God. I just want to tell you that the people from Kiwis, and not just Kiwis, there's lots of other nationalities out there that support me, but I just want to highlight people from New Zealand because never before have I felt such support. And when I say support, I'm talking about people turning up at my daughter's show in Wellington and finding us out and going, Kate and Talitha, I'm talking about you, and just saying hi and supporting and going, and just being there and sending emails and messages on YouTube and just going, you can do it. And it's just like, it just blows us both away, but it blows me
does.
away.
I love
really
it. It's that Kiwi mentality, and that if you give it a go, then people respect that you're giving it a go. Like you said, Liz said, we're not young YouTubers like, the 20-somethings and,
We're only 40.
Yeah. And it's just that support that we've got from you guys. It just makes us keep going.
And it's a Kiwi thing, and it makes you give back.
Yeah.
That's the big thing. Is like when someone is like that to you, you then go and pass it on.
Yeah.
And that's why I love this country. And I'm not saying that maybe your country's like, you live in America or UK or South, wherever you live, Canada, you're thinking, oh, we're the same. But it especially stands out in New Zealand because they go that little bit extra further that they don't have to, Yeah, they don't have to show up at our daughter's show.
No, they don't. Because that Kate, I saw you, I was looking how long the queue was, and I was thinking, I've only got 5 minutes before I'm supposed to go back in and the show starts. And I stepped back to let Kate come through, and she went, "Hello, Brian." And I'm like, "Hello," not having the faintest idea who you were, and...
Were you a bit frosty?
I wasn't frosty.
You had your head in the freezer, didn't you?
I was looking at the ice cream because you wanted ice cream, but the queue was huge, and I was just like, I'm not going to make it in time. And that's why I was a little bit all 6s and 7s,
Yeah.
But I don't know, it's just that connection that we just looked at each other and you went, "Hello, Brian." I thought, well, you obviously know me, but I don't know you,
And I read somewhere the other day, and again, I wrote it down and I thought I'm going to talk about it on the podcast. I read somewhere that there's a difference when you support someone. So it's very easy to say, "Oh, I'm a really supportive person. I support people," and this person, this author, I can't remember what it was. It was a quote or a blog post or whatever, and it said, "Support is being there for the person when they're doing well and when they're doing something great and brave. It's not just being there when they're having a hard time and saying, 'Oh yeah, I'm here for you,' And it really stuck in my mind, that, Bri. Mm-hmm. Because I thought that's so true.
Yeah.
We've got to remember when people are doing good things.
Great things.
Yeah, to say...
And you can see them doing well.
Yeah.
Good on you.
Yeah, to say good on you. And...
it's a lot of hard work. And that's the difference between sometimes a fan and a supporter. Because that's what it is. You can be a fan of something, but you don't pay anything in. I'm not saying money-wise, but you don't give anything back other than just being a fan in the background. But then you have a supporter who gives you support.
Yeah.
Not just financially, but support is what you're talking about, isn't it?
And I notice it when I go down the cafe. They've got Ming's got little, people's business cards and little. It's just promoting people.
Yes.
And people will say "Oh, go and use them. They're great, and she's doing a really great thing, or he's doing that." And it's just there isn't any of this. That tight, a little bit resentful.
Yeah.
We're not going to help you because you're doing better than us, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
No, it's true. I've said this before about the tradies here in New Zealand.
Yes, exactly,
it's that feeling like, hey, we're all in this together. It's not against each other. You're going to get a job. I'm going to get a job. Your company's bigger than mine, but still, you don't look down on each other. It's just like, hey, it's not easy, is it, crawling under houses and putting pipes in and cables or whatever it is you do.
Oh, Brian, the umbrella's going to blow away.
Yeah, I'll hold on to the umbrella.
Okay, we better hurry up and go then.
That wind is picking up. Yes. It's just really changed, hasn't it, in the last 5 minutes?
Before we leave you, we just want to say, if you haven't signed up for my free newsletter where I talk all about the book, if you haven't done that yet, you can go to it'sadrama.com/front row. Brian will put a link.
That was completely all over the place.
Was it? Did I not say it right?
Yeah, just it'sadrama.com/front row.
Right. Okay. And I'll send you a free video of me reading the first chapter and just tell you all about the book. But our big news is for those regulars who turn up not just for the video and they're there for the audio podcast as well. We do an audio podcast where it's a little bit more personal, a little bit more behind the scenes.
Not filmed, obviously.
And it's not filmed. Yeah. But next week is book launch week, where I'm going to be launching the book, and we're going to do a video podcast just where talking about that whole experience. So if you're still here, I know that you will love that. So just watch out next week for the podcast that will be videoed just this once, videoed talking about that whole book release. And thank you so much for all your lovely, lovely support.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for being Kiwis.
So, kia kaha, stay strong. Kia u, stay true. And we'll see you next week in that video podcast, which we don't normally do.
Okay. Speak to you soon. Bye.
Bye.
When you've been out of New Zealand for a while and you come home, you expect things to have gone up in price. People can't wait to tell you, just you wait till you go shopping. You won't be able to believe the price of groceries. Petrol's gone through the roof. But there was one thing that we really weren't expecting to be quite so expensive.
Oh, you know when you just think, I don't believe this. It has cost me $400.
In this week's episode, we're going to share with you what it was like to come back to New Zealand after being away for so long and tell you the one thing that really did take us by surprise.